for some reason, dog, like everywhere I've been at, like I was always liked and respected. Like I never really had nobody wanna like try and like punk me or like challenge me type shit. You know, I was always like they like me or you know they just respected it, I guess. I don't know.
As you think?
Being incarcerated, dog, I was always like quiet. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to get too involved in anything. You know what I mean? So I would keep quiet and just do me. You know what I mean? Of course, I would, you know, fight my fights if it comes. But back then, as a kid, it was always for fun. You know what I mean? It was like it was just fun fighting. Motherfuckers wanted to fight all the time. It was like, all right, let's do it. You know
So
what
it was like, it was just, that's what it was. Like it wasn't no thinking of like the future.
I mean? Nothing, dog. When you're a kid like that, to me, it was fun. I liked it, dog. Like, you know what I mean? It was innocent. You know what I mean? We were just all fighting. You know, being in there, but on the streets, it was a little different. But
like a lot of things you went through, it happened way sooner than what people expect. Like I mean, you were 8 years old. You know,
young.
You were fighting, and like in middle school, you already going through traumatic things. So like, how does that make you feel? Like once you get to know like older people, and then like they haven't been through, you know, anything, or at least half the stuff you've been through when you happen to have to go through it earlier. Do you feel like it's like do you feel different, or how does that make you feel?
I don't know. It kind of to me, I feel like it's knowledge. You know what I mean? Like going through all that shit is just like it teaches you a lot. You know what I mean? If you pay attention and you want to know what's going on, like I mean, it teaches you. You grow from that shit. You mature from it, and yeah, sometimes I feel older than somebody that's older than me in age. You know what I mean? Like sometimes how they act or how they do things, I feel like they're not like developed. I want to say, you know what I mean? But
So
I mean,
mature in a sense.
yeah, mature. I mean, I don't know. It just I see things a lot different. You know what I mean? Than a lot of people my age. How I feel. You know what I mean?
During all that time, like you were away, how did you manage to like make your money and feed yourself? And because when you were run away, obviously you weren't under the people that were supervising you anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. To me, I would steal car stereos though.
yeah.
I would break into cars and do shit like that. You know what I mean? I was young selling car stereos for like $50, dog, and I had a bunch of them. You know what I mean? So we would make money off of that.
And so how was that? I remember you telling me that story about that. Like one time you were stealing a stereo, and then another guy was trying to steal the same stereo.
Oh man, you know what? That day, because the way I used to do it, I'll get on my bike and scope all the cars. I'll look through all the cars, you know what I mean, and see which one had a system, and then come back at night and take their shit. You know what I mean? And it was nighttime. I was by myself, like always and shit. And I'm hitting this car real quick, and as I'm taking the stereo out, some big ass cholo looking motherfucker all tatted up, like gets at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Like he was mad, dog. And I was like,
he's already in the car, or at that
I was like halfway in the car like this, taking out the stereo with my foot out on the passenger side. And this fool's like, he's he's on me right here, you know what I mean? So I'm like looking at him like scared as fuck, like, damn, like what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So he's like, what the fuck you doing? I was like, well, I'm gonna take the stereo. And he was like, fuck, like mad. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I thought I was fucked, Don. He told me like, you beat me to it, Don. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I wanted to take that shit. And then I was like, what the fuck? That fool's like, yeah. He's like, fuck you, let's go. Like, let's go take some more. And I noticed he had a big trash bag full of stereos already. And I had my backpack full of stereos. So
and this guy, you never met him before?
Never met that fool, dog. I've never seen him in the neighborhood, nothing, dog. Like, he was just, I've never seen him, dog. So we continued, you know, taking shit.
That same night?
The same night we went, and I think he got locked up, dog. Like, we stopped by the store, and he noticed a fool on the phone, and he's all like, hey, dog, I'm gonna take this fool's phone. And he's all like, if anything happens, just take my shit and bounce. And this fool was short, but he was, you know, stocky motherfucker, and he came out to came up to a big ass, like tall ass fool, and he was trying to take his cell phone from him. You know what I mean? And at that moment, I was like, damn, this fool's probably gonna do the same shit to me at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Trying to take your shit.
Yeah, like try to take my shit.
Oh, so you were like smart. You were like, you thought ahead.
Yeah, I thought ahead.
Oh,
I was scared too. Like,
how old were you at this point?
I was young, fool, like probably 11, 12. I was young, dog.
And so what happened? He ended up like fighting that guy or what?
Yeah, he was tossing them up all over the parking lot, fool, like socking them up, dragging them, because the other dude didn't want to give up his phone. You know what I mean?
So when that happened, what did you do at that moment?
I just grabbed his bag and I dipped out, fool. I left. I took his shit.
You didn't even wait for him to finish fighting or to see the outcome.
It was escalating too much where the man was screaming, dog. He was screaming and there's people all over the place right there, dog.
They're already coming out, calling the police.
It's a fucking
convenience
like a little marketplace, dog.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a little late at night, probably like 8, 9 maybe, but still, dog. Like I was like, this shit's getting crazy, so I dipped out, took off with his shit, and.
And so how'd you feel? I mean, it worked out in the end for you because you.
Yeah, I was a little scared at first because I'm like, damn, I fucked up. I took off with his shit. Like he's still out there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm some dude from the next apartment's over. He seen me outside, so he was asking about that dude, which happened to be his uncle, dog.
Oh, really?
That had just got out that day.
So he most likely went back the same day.
Yeah, he told me he got busted. Like he went right back in. So it made me feel a little better. Like, all right, fuck it.
He's gone. He's like, I'm not gonna run into him.
So I came up on some stereos, but fuck it. You know what I mean?
It was
pretty scary.
Because I know, knowing you personally, like you've never really fucked with drugs based on like how your family and all that stuff. How does that affect you so much that out of all those years you don't try? I mean, obviously, you've tried weed and like you drink, but other than that, you've not touched anything and you've been around it so much. So how do you?
Yeah, to me, I grew up around this since I was little. Dog, weed was always around. When I was real little, that's when crack was around. So crack back then was like tweak now. Tweak, everybody's twacked out. Like that shit's a bad drug, dog. And when I was little, I was seeing crack. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was bad too, dog. Crackheads everywhere. Like everybody was smoking crack, dog. So
what kept you from even trying it? Like, because obviously people are doing it. You know, they see other people and they do it, or they're getting peer pressured.
At first, I thought it was cool. Like, oh, these fools are doing something, cool together, like fun, I guess. Yeah. But watching them as a little kid and how stupid they would be, like, I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I can't do that shit. Like, these fools are acting dumb or they're not in their right mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what kept me from doing most of the drugs. You know what I mean?
So would you say like seeing the after effects or like even them during, like them being intoxicated?
Well, I've seen people start drugs and stay on them. So I also seen them like change throughout the time doing it. You know what I mean?
Like for the worse.
And I think that's what really made me not want to do that shit because it changed people, and to me, I was scared. Like, I mean, I don't want no change in me. Like, I'm cool right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't want to be affected by that, especially the ugly drugs like crystal meth and shit, and crack, sherm back in the day, fucking heroin. Like, that was a lot of shit that I seen. You know what I mean? Now it's like pills and fucking tweak, a lot of cocaine, but
yeah.
To me, that shit, it doesn't like sound fun to me, you know what I mean? Like none of that shit.
Cause and you never really been peer pressured to do any of those things.
Yeah, like... a lot of people ask me all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, I don't fuck with that shit. One thing I for sure keep away, and like the people that do it, is crystal meth, dog. Like if you do crystal meth, I won't talk to you. I won't fuck with you, dog. Like if I know you, I'll say like, what's up, or but I won't fuck with you. I won't have no type of relationship with you. I don't care if you're family, dog, because I've seen how bad it can get them and how they can fuck you over and a lot of things, dog. So I stay away from people with that and that drug, period. You know what I mean?
So why do you think they even do it in the first place? Like, what do you think causes people, especially like now, like that so much knowledge is out there of like obvious this shit is not good. So
Yeah.
what makes you people? What do you think makes people do that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, cause you know it's bad.
Yeah.
You know it's fucking horrible. It's
Yeah.
ain't nothing good gonna come out of it. So
honestly, I don't know, dog. But now that you ask me that question, and all I can see is motherfuckers are just sad, dog. Like they're either going through some shit or they don't want to be living in their world, so they, you know, go into another world, you know, by smoking some shit or whatever. You know what I mean? That's all I can think of, you know, because I have some real close people go through that shit, and yeah, I mean, all I can think of is them motherfuckers being sad, and to me, I see it as weakness too. You know what I mean? Like anybody that tweaks or stays on drugs and they say they're addicted and they can't, like that kind of gets me angry. Like you're just weak, dog. Like you either don't want it or you're weak. Fool.
yeah.
Like I have no respect for them like
and
that.
especially because you've been through all those
Yeah.
situations, pretty much similar situations, and
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think that comes out from you, like just naturally being able to like find it in yourself? I know. I mean, I know it wasn't easy, but you know, you've been through similar situations. How do you find the strength to like overcome that and be like, nah, I'm not gonna turn to this, or what do you turn to? Because obviously, I mean, you've been through.
Yeah, like now, honestly, I don't go through too much, dog. Like I feel like my head is so strong that it's like I don't let nothing phase me. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I stress here and there, fool, but I know that I can change that. You know, I know I can not be stressed. I could take care of it, get it out the way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, you know, I'm cool now, but back then I would say I would turn to like music and art, dog. Like I would listen to a lot of Tupac, dog. Like
Yeah.
Tupac actually like kept my head up, fool.
Like lyric wise.
Yeah, like listening to the shit that, you know, our environment goes through, you know what I mean? Like he was speaking on everything that we went through. Yeah, like I related to a lot of his shit. So it was like, damn, this fool, there's somebody out there that knows what's up, you know? And that comforted me, you know what I mean?